Hey everyone, this is Dr. Monique Adu. In today's video, I want to show you a science series that I have found for my middle all the way through high school students. This is called the Friendly Sciences series. Have you ever had a student of yours struggling with these thick, overwhelming, gigantic textbooks that are supposedly supposed to help prepare them for the upper level sciences as they move on through their high school career? If so, you know how challenging it can be trying to press through and just get through that curriculum because you know that it is a requirement for high school. Well, it's not about the size of the curriculum, it's all about the understanding and the engagement and the ability for your student to really understand the concepts, not just go through it because it's there. In this curriculum, I have found that nice balance where the information is there, but you have some real world and life experiences, simple information, and simple ways to get the point across. As a biology major myself, and of course, as a physician, having gone through many of the sciences, I have seen multiple textbooks. Some I have enjoyed, and some not as much. So, from my perspective, I really value and enjoy textbooks that give myself as the teacher and my students the ability to learn and grow in an engaging manner and in a simple and effective way. So, join me today as I take you through all the science series that I have and a bonus elective from the author that I think you would also really like your students to have as well. Join me. Okay guys, so I'm going to be showing you each of the books, and I'm going to go ahead and also take you through their website so that you can kind of get some idea of how the information is presented, and I'll also show you a little clip from the author. And I was so blessed to be able to receive this set, and I've had some correspondence with the author as well, Dr. Joey Haida, and he was very informative and helpful. And as you can see, when you take a look at the little clip that I'm going to show you, it will also give some good information to help you to understand all about the course and why it can be so effective. So starting from the top, physical science, friendly physical science can be started from the 8th to 9th grade level. And this one is going to be your main text. And as you can see here, it's not that huge, gigantic book that many of us are so used to seeing. I know I am in the sciences I've taken. So that is our main text, and I'll just do a little flip through for you so that you can see what the contents look like. So take a look at the lessons here. We're going from measurements, area, volume, mass, density, buoyancy, energy, time and speed, Newton's laws, work in simple machines, pressure, magnetism, electricity, electromagnetism, light, sound, heat, energy, and a little intro to basic chemistry before you move on to the next levels. As you can see also, when you look in these books, you're not going to see a lot of clutter, and that is so very helpful for me also as the teacher and for the student. So you'll see all the lessons broken down with simple, uncluttered pages, and it brings you into some real world and life experiences so that you can grasp the concept easier. There's also some doodles in here that break up some of the information, but doesn't water down the information, which is very important. So I'm just going to take you through a little bit. And please let me know if there's any of these books that you would like me to go into a more thorough and in-depth review. I'll definitely do so for you, and I may just do that in some upcoming videos as well. Also to note, there are experiments in here, and they are simple and easily accessible, where you can use products and materials that you can easily grab from your local store. So the students are also going to be doing labs and experiments throughout the courses. You all the way through, and as you can see here, back at the table of contents, it has about 22 lessons, so you can structure it according to what works best for you. You can go slower if you like also, because it's not so heavily laden with tons of information and lessons to go through. Goes all the way through and gives you a little intro to some of the chemistry that will also be in one of the upcoming texts. So that is your main text for Friendly Physical Science. And then you also have your student workbook, which is not overwhelming at all. It is quite light, and it just has the pertinent information that your student will need to solve the problems, answer the questions, and get that gist and good information that they need to get a grasp of the physical sciences. Then you also have the Tests and Workbook Solutions Manual, so that you can go ahead and review and grade your students' work. So that can be used, as I mentioned, for your 8th to 9th grade level. Next up, we have our Friendly Biology. This is the one that I chose to start with, but you can start wherever you feel is best. So this one is the main text, and again, when you open it, this one is very nicely laid out. It also here gives you your table of contents, and you have a total of about 28 lessons. The font is nice and large, and again, the information is uncluttered and really, honestly enjoyable to go through. Nice coloring as well throughout some of the pages, and as you can see here, you have these little blocks here that are highlighted with a little splash of color to get you to see some of the main points that they're going to want your student to know, and to remind you as well as the teacher. This one also will come with your experiments that your students can do, and again, they are simple and easy. You're going to be able to find the materials easily in your home or quickly in any local store. This one also gives you some nice overviews of chemistry as well, with very helpful graphics of the core information. I also like that this one brings in some world and real life situations, scenarios. For example, here it talks about how ruminants will consume that plant material and break it down in the different sections of their GI system and process it so that they can have the energy that they need provided to them from our natural resources that we have been given on our earth. Very interesting and simple, and so engaging, especially in particular for my family, as we are homesteaders and we are on our land and we engage with our land and animals so much. It's really enjoyable to see how animals also play a role in the sciences and in our world. So going through, as you can see, very simple layout, even goes into genetics, Punnett squares, taxonomy here, the animal groups, species. This is the Christian worldview version, and then they also have the non-Christian worldview which are still very similar. So it takes you all the way through, even into reproductive information. And it does demonstrate that we are made from our Creator and made in His image. Very nicely done and well put together. Then you also have your student workbook, and my students are already working through this book, so I'm just going to show you a little bit towards the back here. But very simple, nicely laid out, not thick and overwhelming, but it does have some compactness to it because it does go over a good amount of information, but laid out in such a way that you can just easily go through, take your time, and get that information completed. It also has some breakup puzzles here that you can solve, which is always fun throughout the book. And some charts to fill in, such as going ahead and learning more about Punnett squares and how genetics play a role. And it goes through all the lessons nice and easily. Then you're going to have your lesson tests and answer keys in a separate book, and you can go ahead and make copies of these, or for me, what I also do, because I know that my children are understanding it, I will just verbally go through the test, and then you can also use an award system as well. And then they can collect points, and at the end of your term, you can reward if you like, or you can go ahead and do a nice family gathering or get together where you get to do something fun in reward for all the hard work that they put into their studies. This one also comes with the answers as well in the back there, so you can go ahead and grade their test and their work. So that is the friendly biology. Next, we're going to be going into the friendly chemistry. So friendly chemistry comes with quite a few more books and some manipulatives. So this one is going to be for your 11th to 12th grade, if you like. And this one is going to allow you to cut out the pieces so that you can use them for a game board. They call one is a doo-wop board. You can make some flashcards with these. You could even cut these out, laminate them so that you can go ahead and use them as memory tools and boosts for the lessons that you're going to be going through. So this comes with the friendly chemistry set. Then beyond that, you have 2 volumes of your teacher's edition books. So this one is volume 1, and then you have volume 2. So let's take a little look inside. So your friendly chemistry, simple again, all the books are simply laid out, and this one in particular gives the teacher some information and tips along the way in addition to the text. It's going to give you a layout of what you can expect to do, helps you to get prepared for the experiments and assignments. So let me move over to some of the lessons. Also has games such as bingo included. So here we are in lesson 2. Simple, nice graphics so that you can have some pictures as well that break up the information. You've got tables in here, such as your table of periodic elements. And you have charts that your students will be filling out. And it just takes you smoothly through your general chemistry course for your high school student. Now, Volume 2 goes through lessons 17 through 32. We're going to be doing things such as formula weights, finding a perfect composition of compounds, writing empirical formulas, balancing equations, stoichiometry, which if you took chemistry, you know that can be tricky for some in terms of figuring out how to balance your equations correctly. It's going to be giving you information about how much reactant to use for a chemical, mixing of compounds, molarity, and all those basic things that you may remember when you took your chemistry as well. So going through, again, diagrams, broken down simply, and it has spaces, as you can see, where they can write their information down. There are also videos that come with these lessons. So if you have a learner that likes to see and view things so that they can get a good grasp, then this curriculum also has that available for you. It also has audio so that if you have a learner that needs to hear it or they want to do it in a self-paced manner, you can go ahead and have them to listen to the videos on their own. So there are multiple ways that you can use these curriculum to help to specifically tailor and shape it for your students. We also have the student edition, which basically replicates the teacher's edition, of course, though without the guidance that's given for the teacher, but very similar. And it has areas for them to fill out their information and complete the problems. Nice graphics, and just not overwhelming, but definitely it is condensed and gives you all that general chemistry information that you would need for a standard high school course and for the credit that is needed to have that completed. Then you also have the student workbook too here, which is separate, and you can go ahead and have this in addition if you have more than one student. So it comes with a variety of things that you can choose. So this is just going to have those, basically the sheets that are here that your student would need to fill out. So this would be like an addition on to your student edition if you had another student needing to go through the course. And then you have your annotated solutions so that you can go ahead and grade. And I like this also because it even has the solutions kind of written out, so step by step, which is so important so that you can easily see how the problem was solved. So very important for me as a homeschool mom to be able to have some guidance as well so that I can make sure that we are following the right track and quickly having a guide so that it doesn't consume too much of your time either. Then we have our friendly anatomy. This one is a shortened course. This one covers only the bovine skeletal system. And again, as homesteaders that have our own animals, we really enjoy being able to take a deep dive into a particular area, and then we can go ahead and expand. This one has 13 lessons in it. And it also comes with videos online that help you to go through all of the concepts. So this one in particular, of course, is talking about the anatomy of a cow or anatomy of cattle. Close-up pictures with areas that your students can go ahead and fill out so that they can label the diagrams. So this would be a nice intro course, an addition for an elective if you would like. You can then go into human anatomy as well and combine the courses if you like, or just go ahead and use it as a single elective for a 13-week course or more, based on how you may want to go ahead and use it for your student. But nicely laid out, simple and not overwhelming. So that is the complete Friendly Science series that we are excited to be working with, and we're going to be continuing to use it as we move up in our levels. Then this one was also an exciting find that I am going to be excited to use for my students. It's the Friendly Driver's Education course. Now this is your roadmap to becoming a confident and safe driver. Now what more would you want in terms of getting your students prepared to be on the road, which can be quite a challenging time for us as parents as our children, our students grow up and become more able to do things such as these. It's so important to have a good framework. So this one is going to take them through. It has, as you can see here, 21 components to it in the table of contents, from understanding what makes your car go, to fuel, engines, navigating intersections, challenging driving situations, brake and road conditions, taking the tests that will determine whether they're able to get on the road, and more. So I'll be glad to go ahead and go into more detail with this course as well in an upcoming video if you'd like. But as you can see here, the format is simple and laid out. Good pictures and diagrams to help your children to become familiar with the ins and outs of their vehicle, helping them have that comfort level so that if they were to have their car break down, something going on in the road with them, they are able, because they've already had all this information and background that many of us have never even had for ourselves. Also of note, the authors have availability where you can contact them if ever you have a question or need clarification. So that also helps to set this course and all these materials apart, because there is some readily available access to the authors if you need them. Of note, the author and his wife homeschool their children for many years as well, and they've been in the homeschooling and even a public community of schools for many years. And you can see all that information on their website. Let me take you in to see that website so that you can get a little bit more idea of how you can gain access to this very good curriculum. Okay, you guys, so now here we are at the Friendly Sciences website. As you can see here, it's going to give you an overview of all of the different courses that they offer, from physical science, which is about 8th to 9th grade, to biology, which can be begun in about 10th grade. Then you have your chemistry, which can be from 11th through 12th grade, and then your anatomy elective, which can be done also in the upper high school levels if you like. Then, of course, you have your friendly driver's education, which can be done when you feel your child is ready for that driving education and core skills that you need to get them to be safely on the road. On the website, we also have some information from the author, Joey Haida, and he's going to take you through his background as well as his wife, and information about several of the science curriculums that he offers.
This is a photo taken a couple of years ago. So here's Amelia, our oldest daughter. And then after Amelia, Clara came along, then Jacob, and then our second son, Timothy. After Tim, Margaret joined our family, and then Eleanor. After Eleanor came Lydia, and then Charlotte, and then our youngest in our family here is Anne. Right? And all these kids, Lisa did homeschool all the way through high school. Charlotte and Anne now are still at home. Charlotte's sophomore in high school, and Anne is seventh grader, and Lisa's still working with those two girls. And in this photo here, you can see how our family has continued to grow. We've got 9 grandchildren. Actually, we have 10. Little baby John has just joined our family, and all these kiddos too are being homeschooled. So what we've done with Friendly Sciences is gone back and tried to find the concepts in those courses which are the most important. Now, many people look at our books and say, well, it's not that 600 or 700 page textbook I was thinking I needed for my kid. It's only, maybe 200 to 300 pages. Are the Friendly Sciences watered down science? And we can definitely say we have not watered down the science. Instead, what we've done is we've pared it down. Okay, we've taken these mammoth textbooks and gone through and found those concepts which are most important. Okay, many times a student who's new to a subject area, say they're just starting biology, and there's many concepts are thrown at them. When it's a new subject area, a student really does not may not have the whole big picture, and therefore every concept that's presented to them that they may read through the text, they have an equal degree or equal respect for that concept as being the same as every other concept that's presented. So they never come away feeling like, well, these are the big ideas. This is the supporting information, and I really just need to get a good grasp on these main ideas. Instead, they begin to drown in this whole sea of concepts, and then they lose their whole focus. Okay, and the sad thing that happens then is many times that student will lose their love for science. They lose their natural interest in the science, thinking that this is just way too much information, and they'll never really succeed. Okay, so with Friendly Sciences, what we've done is we've gone into these courses and we found those concepts which are most important concepts, and then we've written them in such a way so that it makes good sense to the students. They understand what the big ideas are, and then they know how the smaller ideas support those ideas, and together we get this whole package then of a course that makes good sense for the students. They gain confidence in that subject area and then can move on.
You also want to take note as well that if you go into each of the different courses, it's going to take you into the samples of the books. You can also see some samples of the online videos as well. As you can see here, it takes you through a really good and thorough detail and flip through of each of the books. As I mentioned, if your children are more audio learners, then you can go ahead and select the reading of the text so that they can also do it in a self-paced manner, or you can just have it playing through for you all as you listen through. So each of the books have their own information and website so that you can get some more in-depth detail and view. So I hope that this was helpful for you. I really am blessed to have found this curriculum for my children. I know, as I mentioned, it can be a struggle to find good quality curriculum that is not overwhelming, but still hitting on the core and key concepts that we need. I have found as a homeschool mom for me, as I'm moving along and now having a high school student, that it's not always about the common curricula that we often see presented to us, but sometimes the specialized detail curriculum that fits our students, in particular for the way that they learn and for their engagement, for their level. That way, you can make their learning experience engaging, not overwhelming, and even so much more enjoyable. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I will see you again soon. All the best and many blessings.